Good evening, hockey fans. Welcome back to the Neutral Zone. This week we are previewing the Eastern Conference. Zach is going to be taking on all things the Atlantic Division, while I will be tackling all things in the Metropolitan. From the bottom of the division all the way to the tops. Who's going to wind up coming home with the Prince of Wales Cup? And then, of course, there's no way we can do an episode this week without talking about the bombs that Lehner was dropping on Twitter. From drugs to doctors to mental health to physical health, Lehner wasn't holding anything back. The Vegas Gold clearly has kept receipts throughout his career, and he felt it was time to cash in. So we will talk about that. We'll talk about the state of mental health in the AreNHL, and maybe play Radio Doctor a little bit. All of that and more on this episode of The Neutral Zone. Welcome back, everybody, to the Neutral Zone here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Wrapping up what has been a busy Tuesday here on IE Sports Radio. We kicked things off out in Pittsburgh with the Yinzer Report. We went out to Northern California with Gina G. We made a stop off in Philadelphia to check in with Cash and Chris, see how they're doing. Larry and his wonderful fiancée Cecilia just got done with the sports perspective, and now we're back in the Midwest to talk about all things hockey. I am Adam Karnick, happy to be here, and with me, as always, of course, is Zach Puplis. Zach, how you doing tonight, buddy?
Great, Adam. How are you?
It's been a busy day, but I am ready to go.
Ready to talk some hockey?
Yes,
yeah,
indeed, yeah. You realize a week from tonight, we will be breaking down an actual hockey game that counted for something.
Oh my gosh!
I know. It's wonderful and exciting, and it's the preseason. It doesn't matter what sport it is. Preseason is boring.
Yeah. I'm ready.
I'm ready. And pretty much just as we go on, it'll be breaking down the Penguins and the Lightning, and the Kraken will be making their debut. Of course, we won't be able to break that down because they'll be playing while we're on. But we'll take what we can get, right?
We'll live tweet it,
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Larry, I see Larry's in the chat. Larry, you're okay with us just basically doing an hour of play-by-play of the hockey game for our show next week, right? That's cool and kosher. I bet my phone is going to get all kinds of fun text messages now from the boss. All right, before we go any further, of course, we do have to acknowledge our sponsors, starting with the Southern California Warriors semi-pro football team. They were on a bye this past week. They are 3-3 heading down the home stretch. They've got 4 games to go. The world of semi-pro sports is unlike any other sports organizations. Players pay to play in hopes of so many different outcomes, whether it's playing to get filmed to try out for professional teams, big-time colleges, or just playing to stay in shape. No matter what, all semi-pro players have one thing in common, and that's playing for the love of the game. The SoCal Warriors have been on a quest to earn titles and give players second chances since 2017. Whether you're in Southern California or anywhere in the world, give semi-pro sports a chance if you love your sport. You may get that second chance you've been waiting for as an athlete. Follow them on Twitter at SoCal Warriors, Instagram at Southern California _Warriors, or find them on Facebook by searching Southern California Warriors. And then Background Check International Business. Are you looking to background check a new hire on? Let Kit Freeman take care of that for you. Kit founded and has managed Background Check International since 1994, and he's here to help you with the screening process. Contact Kit and let him help make the hiring process that much easier. This business is used for professional background checks and not for the use of any crimes such as identity theft or any other illegal activity. Find them on Facebook by searching Background Check International-BCI or just go to their website, bcint.com. And IE Sports Radio is available on all the major social platforms at IE Sports Radio, whether it's Twitter or Instagram or Facebook. IE Sports Radio will get you there. Oh, Larry's on our side, Zach. He commented, ha ha ha, yes. He is all up. So there we go. It's official. Next week is we break down the Pittsburgh Tampa Bay game, and then we just do play-by-play for the rest of the show.
Okay, works for me.
All right, there we go. Problem solved. There we go. Suddenly nobody's tuning into the show anymore. I can't understand why.
Right.
All right. So we were going to just jump right in and do the Eastern Conference this week and talk all about, just like we did last week with the Western Conference, we would just do the previews for the teams. But then, Zach, you were so very kind and made me aware of some amazing tweets that somebody in the NHL was putting out there. Just set this up a little bit, Zach.
Well, I was just trying to find some good tweets for our new Twitter page. And, I found this one from Robin Leonard, and I was like, oh, my gosh.
So Robin Lehner, he is the goalie for the Vegas Knights. A very good goalie overall. He is definitely one to keep an eye on between the crease, between the pipes. He's a good overall goalie. He struggles with mental health. As he puts right there on his Twitter page, he is a proud bipolar person. He deals with mental health problems every single day. And it's important to him. He's also got on there, hey, you're not alone. Health is important to him, whether it's mental health or physical health. He then, on Saturday night, goes on just a bit of a rant. And I want to get it started kind of from the beginning here as I'm going through here. It really starts with the Jack Eichel situation in Buffalo, where Eichel needs surgery. He has found doctors that are telling him one thing for a procedure, and then the team who ultimately is responsible for selecting the surgery and the doctors in the process is telling him another thing of what they want to do.
I've got the specifics. You want it?
Yeah, go for it. Absolutely.
Okay. So Eichel needs to have a procedure in his neck. He wants artificial disc replacement surgery, while the Sabres want him to have a standard fusion procedure. Well, so Eichel is refusing then. However, under the latest CBA, teams control the medical decisions made for their players. So that's where the disconnect is and where the disagreement happened.
Yeah, and it's, if I understand correctly, too, from what I was reading, the Buffalo doctors and the Buffalo organization are very nervous about the procedure that Eichel would like to have done because a hockey player has never had it before.
Oh, wow.
If I understand it from what I was reading correctly, too, that while it's a procedure that is trusted, an NHL player's never had it before. So it's that, the fear of the unknown. Mm-hmm. So that gets started then. Robin Lehner, a few days ago, tweets, he retweets a story about that from the Buffalo News and, quote, better to have pain for the rest of their lives. At least they will supply the pain meds. Same old shit. And that starts the deluge of tweets. Sabres fans, we didn't love each other. And Lehner was a teammate of Eichel's, to make that clear. He was a teammate of Eichel's for several years. He likes Jack Eichel. They seem to have a good relationship. Back to Lehner's tweets. Sabres fans, we didn't love each other much. Was warranted against me. Some were not. Did my best, but I respect your passion for the franchise. This situation with your captain, who was mine, should be as big of a problem for you as for me. I know your hearts are in the right place. 100. I'm 100% an NHL fan. Love hockey and want the NHL to be great. I'm not trying to destroy anything, but do what's right. It's time to walk away from the old ways and into the new. Things have to change. I talk way too much and I still have 90% filter on. Don't make me take it away. Another tweet. They screwed my ankle. Big time. Then surgery and then pills. No care. Almost died. But after forcing leg press after few weeks after bad high ankle sprain first game. This is foot after treatment. And he tweets a picture. And it is clearly swollen. And then another picture. Later, is my soul gone after a month after surgery? It's not all pretty. Your turn now. I can keep going. You know how to reach me. He ends it with, enough for today. But every day that goes by and this shit keeps going, I'll be releasing a story and proof from myself, ex-players, and current players on what is going on. Truth tweets start tomorrow unless things don't get fixed. Have fun. And he includes the hashtag no filter along with several other ones, including mental health. So then we get to the next day. Is it commonplace for workplaces to give out pills that I can't pronounce, so bear with me, benzodiazepines to employees when they travel, and Ambien? Should that not be done by doctors or a psychiatrist? Asking for a friend. This doesn't happen in Vegas, to be clear, but I know many other teams. I also been in on teams that do. Then the Flyers got in his crosshairs.
Oh,
Philadelphia Flyers. Dinosaur coach treating people robots, not human. Fire these dinosaurs. Fire Vigneault, first story. I got proof. Try to shake your way out of this one. Vigneault was not happy about that. He came out the next day with some comments directed towards Lehner. Basically, it was, what the heck is Lehner? I didn't do anything with sleeping pills or pills. I had nothing to do with that. Lehner kind of later clarified that he was talking simply the way he treated players, not with handing out pills. Another tweet. And they say Ambien is sleeping pill. It's funny that rehab told me that's why I didn't have REM sleep. 8 years, no REM sleep. Great. But yeah, they're just sleeping pills.
What?
Crap. I am not a doctor. If you don't have REM sleep, that's what makes you dream. If you don't have REM sleep, you are getting awful rest. Yeah. It basically, you wake up almost more tired. If I understand it right, you're almost waking up more tired if you don't get REM sleep. So 8 years of no dreams, yeah, that's not good. That's not good. Now, he did one last from Lehner, and then we'll kind of react to it a little bit. I want to make sure that I get it pulled up here correctly. And of course, my ESPN is now gonna fight me on getting it. He read from a prepared statement today. The NHL did eventually reach out to him, and he had a good sit down conversation with the NHL and the Players Association, and he did read from a statement today. He also said he was encouraged by the talks that he had with the NHL and the Players Association. This is from his statement. The last 72 hours have been really difficult, but also incredibly valuable to me, my career, and my life goals. It's not easy to do this, but I had a great talk with the NHL and the NHLPA over the last day. I'm excited for the potential change to be made to protect a younger generation. This is something I've been advocating for years, and I'm encouraged about the approach that they want to take. I've tried many avenues to bring some change based on things I've gone through in my career. He's very encouraged about the talks, and that they've had and they'll continue to have moving forward. However, he has said that he's going to be a little less public about his blasts going forward.
They won't always be on blast? Okay,
they're not always going to be on blast anymore. Vigneault, quote, "I was obviously very disappointed. As far as me pushing pills, I don't need another income. I have no idea where that comes from. I don't know what else to say. I have no idea."
Holy smokes.
Your thoughts, Zach Puplis.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm glad he was able to have a sit down with the league, and we'll see where it goes from here. He's definitely a good goalie in Vegas, and clearly they want him to be the number one after what they did with Marc-Andre Fleury.
And speaking as a Blackhawks fan, thank you, Vegas.
Yeah. Wow. I'm still just unpacking everything.
It was. I was reading all that. It's just like you could just sense with every tweet. It was, and here's that receipt, and here's your. It was the scene in Oprah, and you get a receipt, and you get a receipt, and here's your dirty laundry. There's your dirty laundry. Everybody's dirty laundry. Here we go. Like he's just been waiting for this day. Exactly. He was coming hard and heavy. It reminds me a little bit, though, of course, we're both football fans as well as hockey fans. It kind of reminds me of the discussions the NFL was having a few years ago when they were finally admitting how much they knew about concussions and how much they knew about, CTE and just in general players getting hurt. And you'd hear ex-players who would, years after their playing career, say, What do you mean I had a broken bone? What do you mean I broke that bone? I never broke that bone. And they'd realize that what the team doctors were basically doing was, here's your pain meds just to make the pain go away so you can get back out on the field and play. I feel like that's kind of what's going on here with the NHL.
And make us more money. Yes, good.
Yes, good. Yes, exactly. Kind of the use you up and spit you out mentality.
Yikes.
So, and the NFL, of course, makes billions upon billions upon billions of dollars. Doesn't make it right, but you can understand how you get into that mindset of
cost-benefit analysis,
or you as an individual player are replaceable kind of a mindset and mentality. The NHL doesn't have that bottomless pit of money to kind of fall back on of you are merely a dispensable cog. No, you kind of need your players in the NHL. You live and die by your stars.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a lot from Lehner there to unpack, but good for him. Good for him to be doing that. Do you agree?
For sure, yeah. If he feels that there's been injustices done to him and other players, and player welfare not being paramount, then he needs to shine a light on it.
Absolutely. We went through this with the mental health. We went through this in the Olympics with Simone Biles, bringing it to the forefront. We're starting to see it more in other sports. As much as we as consumers don't like to necessarily admit it or think of it that way, the players are human beings. Mm-hmm. Shockingly, they go through the same problems we do. Making millions of dollars doesn't make their problems go away. As much as we like to think that happens.
Yeah, we put them on such a pedestal and they become these heroes and gods. And they're human too.
Mm-hmm, they are. And they go through the same problems and issues that we do. And sometimes even on a bigger, grander scale,
Who was that one rapper? More money, more problems.
Oh, yes. No kidding. Yeah. So good on Lehner. Good on him for bringing it to the forefront, and it made for some very interesting reading over the weekend.
Yeah. I said, I have got to send these to Adam.
All right. Okay. So let's take a quick break, and then when we come back, we were talking about Jack Eichel. We've got to be breaking down not only his Buffalo Sabres, but we've got to get through the entire Eastern Conference. You ready to do this, Zach?
Yes, sir. That's what I call the perfect segue.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and then when we are back, we will be talking about the Atlantic Division. This is the Neutral Zone on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Hey sports fans, do you like wine? Well, we've got the show for you. This is Let's Wine About Sports, a show where we talk about wine and sports simultaneously. From the classic Cabernet Sauvignon all the way down to the grapes that you've never even heard of before. Oh yeah, we cover it all. And we'll talk about a little bit of sports as well. Football, hockey, collegiate, women's sports, it doesn't matter. We're going to talk about it all, and we're going to whine about it all. So join me Monday at 8 p.m. on IU Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Hey USRN fans, do you have a product or company you are trying to promote? Look no further. USRN is teaming up with small local businesses trying to establish themselves via online promotion. Let us know if you're interested. Email us at usrnradio@gmail.com to learn more.
What is going on, everybody? My name is Harrison Glazer, and we're coming at you from the Show That Never Sleeps podcast. I cover the Jets, the Islanders, the Nets, and the Yankees.
This is Pierre Moss, and I cover the Mets, Knicks, Rangers, and the Giants.
Our show is live every Wednesday through Spreaker and a bunch of other ways to get our content. Again, we're the Show That Never Sleeps podcast. We talk about all those New York sports. It's a lot of fun. We get into all of it. Please tune in. Again, that's Wednesdays at 6 p.m.
And we look forward to having you guys right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
College football, and do you want to hear a college football show dedicated to all that is college football, including junior college and the CCAA and the NJCAA, the NAIA, and the NCAA, including Division III, Division II, Division I AA in the FCS, and Division I A in the FBS? Well then look no further. Join myself, Larry B., and my colleagues, Mr. H-Town Blake Henley, and Mr. Christian Espinoza, each week during the college football season for the latest in college football on 3 and Out College Edition, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
IE Sports Radio. It is your direct feed for all that is sports. It is Philly Sports Talk with Cash and Chris every Tuesday night right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Philly Sports Talk with Cash and Chris is the most comprehensive view on Philadelphia sports exclusively right here on IE Sports Radio. You know what it is, your direct feed for all that is sports. Tuesday night, IE Sports Radio, Philly Sports Talk with Cash and Chris.
And welcome back to the Neutral Zone on IE Sports, your direct feed for all that is sports. We're talking hockey tonight with Adam Karnick and Zach Puplis.
And then to kick off our Eastern Conference preview, we did the Western Conference last week in episode 2, so if you're wondering where that is, just go back and rewind a week and you'll find our breakdown there. But we are going to kick off our breakdown of the Eastern Conference. Zach is going to give us a preview of every team in the Atlantic Division. Zach, take it away.
Well, we were talking about Jake Eichel earlier, so we're going to stick with Buffalo here. Last year they missed the playoffs. They were 15-34-7. Well, how bad will the Jack Eichel drama get? The saga still has no resolution. Reminds me a little bit of the Peyton Manning neck situation in his last season with the Colts about a decade ago. Honestly, I don't think the team's going to get better until the situation gets resolved.
Yeah. I mean, when you strip a guy of his captaincy.
Yeah. I mean, even I guess this is even worse than really the Peyton Manning situation because there was never that acrimonious between him and the Colts.
No, they stayed very friendly. Yeah, Eichel wants out.
Yeah, oh my gosh. Yikes. Next, let's talk about Florida. They were they lost in the first round. They were 37-14-5. So Karnick, how do you think your second favorite mustachioed ex-Chicago coach is doing?
Coach Q. Oh, Coach Q. We miss you, good sir. I'm glad he's doing well in Florida. Special place for Coach Q.
Right. And how's your number one favorite mustachioed ex-Chicago coach doing too?
Ditka?
Yeah.
Oh, Ditka's Ditka. At this point, you can't change him or fix him. I don't know that you'd want to at this point. So,
Go Bears.
Go Bears.
Oh,
the Panthers were strong last year. They were good.
Yeah. I don't know if you heard, but so with the whole name, image, and likeness thing coming of age in college football, that's legal now. Mm-hmm. So one of Miami's players, Miami Hurricane, Derek King, he's the quarterback. He signed a bunch of NIL deals, including one with the Florida Panthers. So we'll see if that'll bring in more fans.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm sure their success last year will do it more so than Derek, but no, they could go hand in hand.
Yeah, you never know.
Stranger things have happened.
Southern hockey teams not named the Lightning seem to need all the help they can get.
Yeah, exactly. Including they have a key addition of Joe Thornton, formerly of the Sharks for years and years and years.
Oh, yeah.
We could also, instead of a QB competition, we could see a G competition between Sergei Bobrovsky and Spencer Knight. He was a first-round pick in the 2019 draft. They should be right up there again, competing in the top of the Atlantic.
Bobrovsky was formerly of the Blue Jackets, right? Columbus?
Yes, yep. When they swept Tampa Bay 2-3 years ago. The ruin to redemption story, them in Virginia, man. Virginia basketball.
Mm-hmm. I was reminded of the Blue Jackets because I see Andrew Hagenbaugh, who is our state of Ohio sports host, chimed into the chat. Good evening, boys. Good evening, Andrew. Go Blue Jackets. Yeah. Yep, that's about it. That's about as deep of analysis as they're getting this year too. But we'll get to that. We'll get to the Blue Jackets in a minute.
Hopefully you'll have reasons to fire off that cannon. Ottawa missed the playoffs. They were 23-28-5. They do have an exciting prospect in Tim Stützle with 29 points in 53 games. They also have other youngsters, other promising youngsters like Brady Tkachuk. Is he related to Matthew Tkachuk, maybe, of the Flames?
I don't know.
Same last name.
You know, hockey, there's so much of that kind of nepotism that goes around where...
How many flurries did the Seattle
Kraken
Kraken draft?
Exactly. It would not surprise me in the slightest. Give me the last name again.
Tkachuk.
Let's see, Matthew... And the wonders of Google, right?
Right. Well, you look that up.
Yeah. Continue.
Other youngsters like Brady Tkachuk have also impressed. They added Pierre Maguire in the front office, formerly of NBC Sports. But otherwise, they still have pretty poor management. So we'll see if Pierre can help turn that around.
Yeah, there was a reason Pierre was in the booth and not in the front office, so I wouldn't...
You wouldn't bank on that?
Nope.
Well, you're efforting. Let's see. Let's go on to...
How about your Red Wings?
Let's do it, yeah. Red Wings sound great. They were out of the playoffs last year, 19, 27, and 10. The question is, can they return to the playoffs and maybe start another streak of 25 years? I'll keep my fingers crossed. Maybe a little skeptical, but we'll see. They missed the playoffs in the last 5 seasons after 3 consecutive first-round exits. Good addition is Nick Leddy. He's going to help the offense, we hope. And Alex, probably going to butcher this, but Nedeljkovic. He was a goalie addition we got, so hopefully he'll help the defense. On top of that, we lost Luke Glendening to Dallas. And then Jacob Vrana got hurt. I guess in the end, the success or failure is really just going to depend on how well they can develop their talent.
Yeah. The new goalie came over by way of Carolina.
Yes. Yeah.
By way of the Hurricanes. So that was a little bit of a surprise. Larry's chiming in the chat room. Freaking Tampa Bay. Yeah, what news have we on the Lightning? How are they looking for this season?
I got lots of news on Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay. Back-to-back champs. 36-17-3 in the regular season. What do you think? Can they be the first team to three-peat since the Islanders?
My gut wants to say no, because it's so hard to win 3 in a row, but they're so damn good.
That's where I'm at, too. I mean... they're going to be my bet until they give me a reason not to, If they're able to pull it off, they would be the first three-peat since the Islanders won 4 in a row since from 80 to 83. Their title defense begins a week from tonight against the last back-to-back champs, Pittsburgh, who were back-to-back champs in 16 and 17. I saw this one online. I had to steal it. Cap-pocalypse? Not yet, anyways.
No.
Their key losses include Yanni Gourde to Seattle and Barclay Goodrow to the Rangers. The core still remains. Kucherov, Stamkos, Hedman, Braden Point. Is it just me, or is Braden Point money, absolute money in the playoffs? I mean, you can almost guarantee that he's going to get a goal every single game.
Point a night. Point a night.
Point gets a point a night.
Point a night in the playoffs. Just get him out there. Get the puck to him. It will find the back of the net sooner as opposed to later.
It's remarkable. That's one thing I was always keeping an eye on during the playoffs. I'm like, okay, so when's he going to score?
Yeah.
It's not an if, it's a when.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not if, it's when.
I wonder if DraftKings would run a special on that.
Yes. If someone's willing to bet
if someone gets a touchdown in this game, you win $100.
If the Lightning score a goal, yes, just take it and move on.
Right. Well, of course, they still have Andrei Vasilevsky in goal. My bet's with them until they give me a reason not to.
Yeah.
Next, we got, we just talked about the champs. Let's talk about the runners-up. Montreal, they, like I said, runners-up. They were 24, 21, and 11. Their surprising cup run last year was their first trip to the Stanley Cup Finals. Can you believe this? 3 decades.
Yeah. I was rooting for them. For that statistic alone, I was rooting for Montreal. That was pretty good. I had no expectations that they were going to win, but I was rooting for them.
They have enough cups. 24 Stanley Cup titles? Yeah, they're eager to end that drought.
Yeah. Yes.
But, can they keep it going? Can they keep this momentum going that they had last year? I don't know. It's going to be a little tough with the return to regular divisions. The Atlantic is very deep.
They have to face Tampa Bay in the regular season now, not just in the Stanley Cup Final.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what do you think? Can Carey Price return to form?
Considering that they let him be available to go to Seattle, that tells you what Montreal's opinion of him is. I think that his best days are behind him. Yeah. Now, 75% of Carey Price is still better than 100% of a lot of other goalies out there, but I think he's on the way down.
I wonder how that's going to affect him mentally too, knowing that they were willing to let him go.
You hope that he understands that it's a business.
Sure.
And you hope that by now they've been able to reconcile it. But as we just talked in the last segment, they are human beings after all. Yeah. Stuff does.
We were talking mental health, so this is a perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect. It fits in perfectly with that.
All right.
We got Toronto and Boston. Who do you want?
Let's stay in Canada. Let's stay up north, shall we?
Right. Oh, I need some syrup. Need to get some poutine. Toronto had a first-round playoff exit. They were 35-14-7. They do well enough in the regular season, but it seems like they get to the playoffs every year and they just flop. I mean, they're like the Caps pre winning the Cup, and they're like the Cincinnati Bengals. They'll get to the playoffs, and then they won't do jack.
Yeah,
they haven't won a playoff series since 2013.
And for a few years there, it was like they couldn't even figure out how to win a game. Never mind get into the playoffs. They were miserable there for a couple of years. Yeah, they were nigh unwatchable there for a couple of years. So
their core returns. They got some really good players. Their big three: Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner, and William Nylander. John Tavares was a nice pickup a couple of years back in free agency. They also added Peter Mrazek, former Red Wing. Wait, you steal Mike Babcock from us. Now you steal Peter Mrazek. Seeing a trend here.
Considering how bad the Red Wings have been the last few years, I don't know why they're trying.
I know, right? But, yeah. They'll miss Joe Thornton after he left for division rival Florida Panthers. Sharks, Leafs, Panthers, all within 3 years. I'm getting a feel that he's the next Marian Hossa seeking a title.
It worked for Hossa, so you know. Nothing wrong with that, especially if they're going to pay you.
Right.
Title chasing. I've got a guy for you on that too when we get to the Metropolitan.
Oh gosh. All right. Lastly, Boston. How can one city be so successful in like every single sport?
I was just checking with Beantown Brandon in the group chat. How are you feeling about the Bruins? Like he is with every Boston team, over the moon excited.
Yeah. After the football game the other night with when Brady and Belichick reuniting, the return as NBC was billing it, on Twitter somebody says, after New England lost, they said, "My condolences to the long-suffering New England Patriot fans."
Yeah. They lost for the first time in years. They lost a game.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Again, Boston, I mean, they make the playoffs every single year. They lost in the East semis this year. They were 33-16-7. They added Nick Foligno, Eric Howla. They lost David Krejci and Yaroslav Halak. Tucker Rask is out with an injury, so they're kind of questionable at goalie this year. We'll see. A couple years back, they lost Torrey Krug to trade free agency. I'm not sure which one, but he went to St. Louis. I bring that up because he's a Michigan State grad. Woo, go green.
Absolutely no bias occurs on this show.
Ever. And Zdeno Chara, he left for the Islanders. And I bring him up just because he has a cool name, and he's freaking huge. He's 6'9". I would expect somebody who's 6'9" to play basketball.
Not only does he play hockey, he's good at hockey.
Yeah. I wonder if they have to extend his hockey sticks like they do, golf clubs for tall people.
Very possibly. Very possibly.
Yeah. But, they lost both of those key contributors in recent years. They still have a solid core, so they aren't going anywhere anytime soon. They'll continue to be a thorn in the side or tongue in your face. Thanks, Brad Marchand. But yeah, they got Bergeron, Pasternak, McAvoy. They're all solid contributors. Might have issues becoming a cohesive unit with some of the older players, with some of the new players, with possibly a new goalie. But yeah, they will continue to make the playoffs pretty much every year.
All right. So real quick then, who do you see as the top three teams in the division? And then we're going to take a break.
Top three, easy. Tampa Bay, Montreal, and Boston.
There you go. Asked and answered. There you go.
Champs, runners up, and consistent playoff performers every year.
I cannot argue with that. Zach, very nice. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, it will be the Metropolitan Division. Andrew, I see your comments in there. I wasn't ignoring them. We're just going to get to them when we come back from this break, and we will break down the Metropolitan. This is the Neutral Zone on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
What is going on, everybody? This is Ben Matello, the host of the Yinza Report, right here on IE Sports Radio. I'm bringing you the latest in the Steel City, the City of Champions, from the Steelers, the Penguins, the Pirates, as well as the college game with both Penn State and Pitt. You could join me every Tuesday afternoon at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, right here on IE Sports Radio, where I'll be talking about everything from the Steel City, the City of Champions, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Hey guys, it's Blake Henley, better known as H-Town Blake to some of you. Happy to announce that Bases Loaded is back in full force. We'll be bringing that high heat every Tuesday night here on IE Sports Radio. So come home, get ready, dig into that batter's box, and see if you can chase that high heat, baby. So we'll be coming to you live with all the stats, all the rundowns, all the division rivalries, and every team that's going to make the playoff push to get to that one and only October and get to the pinnacle of what baseball is, to hoist that Commissioner's Trophy when it's all said and done.
What's up, sports fans? Are you looking for the latest on Northern California sports? Then take a trip out west with me, your host, Gina G, on Reppin' the NorCal Sports, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. I'll be bringing it to you all the way live every Monday at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. And it's always a packed show. I'll bring you everything Dynastic 49ers, the bite of the San Jose Sharks, torture of the San Francisco Giants, the Golden State Warriors that we still believe. Then take you across the bay to the rise and grind of the Oakland A's. I've got you covered on college ball from the Cal Bears to the Stanford Cardinal, so that no matter what, reppin' the NorCal Sports is always reppin' the Bay. So if you bleed red and gold, or you're looking to keep an eye out west in them thar hills, don't miss me, Gina G, on reppin' the NorCal Sports. Catch me every Monday at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, and I'll have your fandom revved harder than a trio of defenders guarding Stephen Curry before his buzzer beater is Gucci.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Davidson.
It's your boy, Dentarius Law.
And we are the hosts of Fast Break here on IE Sports Radio, where we discuss everything in the world of basketball from prep to the pros.
You guys should definitely check us out, man. Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We got all the basketball information you guys need, so we look forward to you guys listening in.
And please do, because we are the best basketball show on this side of the Mississippi. And please do check us out on Twitter at FastBreakISR. D-Lock, where's our time again?
8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. That gives you guys plenty of time on a Sunday.
Tune in.
Shores of the Puget Sound to the rushing waters of the Columbia River, stretching across the Great Cascades, and on IE Sports Radio lives the Northwest Territory Sports Show, hosted by me, Brad Buckingham. On this show, I cover all the great collegiate and professional sport teams that we have here in the Pacific Northwest. Of course, I'm talking about the Seattle Seahawks, Seattle Mariners, Sounders, and even the Seattle Kraken. But I can't forget all of that is good in Oregon either. I got the Trailblazers, the Oregon Ducks, the Beavers, even the Timbers, and much, much more. You can listen to the show every Sunday from 3 to 4 p.m. Eastern, noon to 1 p.m. Pacific on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
IU Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. So Zach just did a great preview for the Atlantic Division, and in just a moment, I'm going to be taking you through the Metropolitan. But first, one more quick shout out to our sponsors.
Southern California Warriors, semi-pro football team. The world of semi-pro sports is unlike any other sports organizations. Players pay to play in hopes of so many different outcomes, whether it's playing to get filmed to try out for professional teams, big-time colleges, or just playing to stay in shape. No matter what, all semi-pro players have one thing in common, and that's playing for the love of the game. The SoCal Warriors have been on a quest to earn titles and give players second chances since 2017. Whether you're in Southern California or anywhere in the world, give semi-pro sports a chance if you love your sport. You may get that second chance you've been waiting for as an athlete. Follow them on social media on Twitter, at SoCal Warriors, Instagram, at Southern California _Warriors, or on Facebook, Southern California Warriors. And Background Check International. Businesses, are you looking to get background check information on a new hire? Let Kit Freeman take care of that for you. Kit founded and has managed Background Check International since '94, and he's here to help you with the screening process. Contact Kit and let him help make the hiring process that much easier. This business is to be used for professional background checks and not for the use of any crime, such as identity theft or any other illegal activity. Follow them on social media or at website bcint.com, Facebook, Background Check International, BCI.
All right. Okay, and now we are going to rapid fire make our way through the Metropolitan Division, starting off with the Columbus Blue Jackets. Andrew Hagenbaugh, the host of our State of Ohio sports show on Friday afternoons, was kind enough to jump in the chat earlier. He commented that I miss Bobrovsky so much. Same with Pierre-Luc Dubois and Rick Nash. He also said he fired the Cannons after the firing of John Tortorelli this past season. And that there is Columbus in a nutshell. Lots of veteran players who are now gone. John Tortorelli now gone as coach of the Blue Jackets. They were in the Central Division last year. They were one of the other teams in the Central Division getting beaten up by the likes of Carolina and Tampa Bay and Florida. What was their record last season, Zach?
18, 26, and 12. They were one up last in Central.
Yeah, and now that they're back in the Metropolitan, I think they're probably going to wind up last again. This is definitely a rebuilding year if you're Columbus. Hopefully some better things down the road, but for this year, not so much.
Just have happy memories of sweeping the Lightning, 3-4 years ago.
Exactly.
The afterglow.
Yes. Moving on, the team that I have kind of looking at seventh place this year in the Metropolitan is the New Jersey Devils. A year ago, they were in the Eastern Division. Their record was
19-30-7.
And so they are kind of, again, just a little bit of a youth movement, still in a rebuild. Now it feels like maybe, though, that rebuild can take a little bit of a step and they can maybe start to play some meaningful games. I think they're still a ways off from that yet, still towards the bottom of what's going to be a very top-heavy division in the Metropolitan. Moving on to sixth, the Philadelphia Flyers. I reached out to Cash and Chris, who you could have heard earlier tonight doing Philly Sports Talk. I was reaching out to them earlier today, and Bobby was very nice to give me a little bit of info because the Flyers added 1 million new people to the roster last year. They were, a year ago, they were
25, 23, and 8. Just over 500.
Yeah, just over hockey 500 as opposed to true 500.
Yeah, true.
But they just added a bazillion people. The two biggest, one of the biggest ones is Cam Atkinson. Try to help throughout that team, get some scoring, get some two-way help there with Cam Atkinson, but really a ton of new players. I feel like it could take a little bit to kind of gel as a team, and they may get off to a little bit of a bumpy start, could hold them back a little bit throughout the season as a whole. Fifth place, the New York Rangers. looking at the Rangers, and I reached out for help. We got a ton of the Metropolitan division as a whole. We have covered here at IE Sports Radio, basically with the exception of, well, even Jersey we do cover with our New York show. The show that never sleeps has 3 of the teams. They've got the Devils, the Rangers, and the Islanders. So Pierre was very nice and reached out to me for the Rangers. The big storyline, they've been building a little bit. Do they finally have enough to make a push? You've still got guys like Artemi Panarin there to score. No King Henrique this year. You know, they were without him for part of last year as well. Will they be able to do enough to make a push in the playoffs? I don't know that they'll necessarily make the playoffs this year, but I think it's very likely that they'll be in it towards the very end. What were they a year ago?
The Rangers were 27, 23, and 6.
There you go. So, competitive, and hopefully just try to be competitive throughout the entire season. Oh, Andrew's chiming in about his Blue Jackets. I wouldn't call it rebuilding. It's like the construction on I-77 outside of downtown Columbus. Destructive and won't be completed for 10 years. Yes, you are in the very early stages of a rebuild that could be very, very long. I'm sorry, Andrew.
Brutal.
Yeah, could be a bit brutal. All right, 4th place. I lost track of my 4th place team. Zach, help me out here. I've got my top 3. Who am I missing?
You did Columbus. You did New Jersey, right?
Yep, we talked about the Devils.
Okay, Philly, Rangers, Capitals.
No, they're my 3. Capital.
Pittsburgh.
There we go. Pittsburgh. There we go. The Penguins. There we go. It was one of those black and gold teams that we were talking about.
Black and yellow.
Black and yellow. They're gonna get off to a rough start. I was checking in with Ben Mettello, host of the Yinzer Report, earlier today, and they're without Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin to start the season.
Ooh, ouch.
So that's going to get them off to a rough start. I mean, they're also they're getting long in the tooth. They're getting old. I think it's entirely possible that they miss the playoffs. It'll be the first time in getting close to 14 or 15 years now for the Penguins that they'd miss the playoffs. But especially when you're missing your 2 stars for at least the first couple weeks, and Malkin might not be back until December, they're going to be struggling a little bit. And it's entirely possible they miss the playoffs.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me the way you put it.
Yeah. Then in 3rd place, I've got the Washington Capitals. Literally the exact same team they were a year ago. Ovechkin, Oshie, Blackman. They're all there. They're all going to be putting the puck in the net. They're literally the exact same team as they were a year ago. That could be a concern because they're getting old. I was talking with Mike Pat, host of Let's Whine About Sports. Awesome show on Sunday nights. You need to check it out. Not only does he talk about sports and especially all things Washington, D.C. and Baltimore, he drinks wine while doing it and instructs you on the things that are in the bottle of wine, why it is as tasty as it is, and why you drink it with what you drink it with. It's nice. Really good. So check Mike out on Sundays. But Mike agrees with me that they're getting old. The Capitals, they better hurry up and win their next cup if they're going to do that, because their window is closing very quickly. Second place, Carolina Hurricanes. They as you had mentioned with the Red Wings preview, they lost one of their goalies. They've got 2 new goalies in this year, Frederick and Antti Ranta coming in. It'll be interesting to see what that does on the back end. They are without one of their star defenders, but the Carolina answer to defense is to just play more offense. And they play keep away, and they're very good at it, and they score. Guys like Teuvo Teravainen, they're going to be just fine. They're going to be just fine scoring. So I've got Carolina absolutely in the playoffs. Wouldn't be surprised if they make a little bit of a run. And then finally,
they won the Central last year, 36-12-8.
There you go. Oh, that's right. Thank you. Yeah, they did. They were an early exiter from the playoffs. They barely got past Nashville, and then Tampa bounced them pretty quickly. But they did win that division. So they should definitely be in contention this year. And then finally, the Islanders. They've been Tampa Bay's bridesmaid the last 2 years. They're ready. They're ready to take the next step. They're ready to be a deep playoff contender. I like the Islanders heading into this season. Look for them to win the Metropolitan.
32-17-7 last year.
32-17-7, and they should absolutely be a force in the Metropolitan. And I think they might be able to overtake Tampa Bay and get in the Cup final. You know,
Okay.
Tampa Bay's won it the last 2 years. I think the Islanders are ready. The Islanders are prepped. They've got Zdeno Chara now. Speaking of long in the tooth, he's 44. Talk about cup chasing. He's going for it. I like him.
He's going for Jaromir Jagr's record.
Yeah. Just play until something falls off. All right. Well, I'm looking at the clock, and it is time. We have got to get out. Larry is in. Oh yeah, Larry is in. How is Detroit in the Atlantic? Well,
you see,
it's see, Larry. When they were naming divisions, they basically followed the Big Ten theory of just throw a name on it and everything will be good. It's better though. It used to be the Red Wings used to be in the Western Conference. They literally will be flying out to Los Angeles and San Jose on a regular basis to play regular season games. So at least they're in the right time zone. Baby steps, exactly. Because that's hockey, baby. And it may be a quirky little sport, but by golly, it's a quirky little sport, and we love it.
Yes.
All right, that does it for our show tonight. What do you think, Zach? Can we do enough to go back next week? Oh, all right. Thank you to our sponsors again, the Southern California Warriors and Background Check International, for continuing to support us here at IU Sports Radio. It is very much appreciated. Thank you to Larry and Andrew for hanging out with us in the chat room. We'll see you, gentlemen. Larry, thank you for everything that you do here at the station. You are a busy man. Andrew, we will be sure to tune in to you on Friday night, State of Ohio Sports, and on Sundays with the Soccer Scoreboard Show. Zach, thanks for continuing to do this with me. This is fun. All right, and then until next week, we will be breaking down real, honest, religious hockey games. All right. Until then, we'll see you next week.